So today we are line marking at the War Office in, literally at, they've got a big War Office there, and we're going to be line marking, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm quite excited about this one. I'm actually on the tools myself today, helping out, which would be great. I'm not sure how much footage I can get you guys, because the last couple of times we've done a few MOD bases, it's been very limited on what we could film, what we could get away with. I think we did an RAF base in Romford, and if you want to see that, I'll put a link just here. And yeah, so we did that one, and you can see like some of the fighter jets coming in. In fact, Keir Starmer flies from there when he's in and out. He flies from that base. Yeah, it's a pretty busy air base actually, that one, and it's literally on the sort of edge of London. So this one we're doing, like I say, the War Office. We're putting in some brand new EV parking bays today. Some sort of, yeah, just, I think they've got some yellow bays, some blue bays, some green bays, a bit of a mix depending on, I guess, rank, on who's allowed to park in them. They don't really tell us why, the specifics behind each color, but it seems to me that it's like, depending on who you are, you know, you're allowed to park in a certain bay, I guess. So I'm due down there, I think, in about an hour's time. So as soon as I get there, we're gonna sign in, got my passport and everything else I'm gonna need. Yeah, hopefully it's a nice, smooth, easy job. Weather hopefully will hold up. It's super overcast, as you guys can see, but no rain. The ground is dry, so I'm quite happy with that. All right, so all checked in, got myself my pass. I'm now being escorted by the Welsh battalion, I believe. The Welsh Guards are gonna be taking me around, showing me what's up. And yeah, let's get on with the line marking. Looking forward to this one.
It's not really worked out how we planned.
Yeah, hopefully it's a nice, smooth, easy job.
We've got the yellow down. The yellow's obviously looks all right from here, same as the green. We've had to spray it. See, the tarmac's got like an oily film on it. As we're hand rolling it, it just hasn't stuck, and it started to like peel up and it wouldn't roll. So we've had to go to spray instead. Now, we don't normally spray for a colored EV bay like this. We would always hand roll it, get it on really nice and thick, but it just hasn't worked. So we spray coated everything down to get like a really nice base color. Then we're actually going to change products now. There's still an acrylic we're going to be using. We're actually going to Gavico for this one. We put a lineway product down first. We found that the lineway is really, really good for line markings, and it gives us a great wear coat, but it just hasn't rolled very well on this one. And it's because it's so much thicker, which is absolutely fantastic when you're putting lines down. That's what you want. But when you're trying to hand roll it quite thin and build it up in layers, it's so thick. It's really, really hard to roll. So instead, we've sprayed it, which is why you get, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but you get like these tram lines where we've run over with the spray machine, and it doesn't give us that finish that we want. So what we've done, wait for that to cure, then we're going to hand roll on top of this, but going with the Gavico, which is a thinner product using the HS route. Now, it's a decorative colouring for the surface, that's what it's designed for, but it's going to have this base colour underneath, which is going to give us that wear layer sort of on top. But yeah, it should work out quite nice. It's not quite the way I'd want to do it. You could go for an MMA as well, but of course it depends on your budgets. This one's fairly tight, so unfortunately we've not been able to go for an MMA on it, but actually it's costing us more anyway because now we're changing products, got to return to site. Instead of finishing in one day, which is our plan normally, we had, I think, 14 EVs to go in down here. Should have been 1 day's worth of work. Now it's going into 2 days, all the way back down to again, which is a bit of a pain, but hey, it is what it is. Tomorrow we're at a police station in Medway, so we're not able to come back tomorrow. Sorry, there's an aeroplane flying right over it. We're literally like in a flight path to Heathrow Airport, and it's going straight over the top of us. But hey, that's pretty much it for this one. I think it's looking okay, but once we get the second coat down on Wednesday or whichever day we're going to be doing that on, it'll look just tenfold better. So that's it from me for now. We're going to jump onto the next project. I'll see you guys there. Did I say welcome to week 8 yet? I can't remember. Anyways, it's officially 2 months into our weekly vlog series. Going pretty good. Back on track with it again now. Harry's back in the office, so it's so bumpy down here. Anyway, today I am actually out on the tools. So I'm heading up to the farm and I'm going to grab the lorry. We're going to be doing some thermoplastic today at a car wash. Now I'm a little bit worried about the car wash because obviously of all the suds, detergent, soap, etc. on the ground, I think we might have adhesion problems, which is concerning me a bit, but they're going to get it all cleaned anyway. Been a while since I've driven this thing. Let's back this up, let's get this thing over to the car wash. So the cool thing about driving a lorry like this with air suspension on the seats is you can actually do 2 things at once. Well, 3 if you count driving. You can actually hit your head on the roof, hit your nuts on the steering wheel, and carry on driving at the same time. Isn't that just amazing? I love driving this thing. I managed to hit 2 trees and almost a squirrel, but we're all good. Let's get to the petrol station. No, not the petrol station. Today, the car wash. That's the one we're doing. Hey guys, so today I've got to head down to Bristol, which is like a 3-hour drive. It's quite a way to go, but I'm heading down for a client meeting today and hopefully nice, easy, clear roads down the M5. So we shall see. On a plus note, I went to Gymshark last week, and I don't know if you guys remember back from one of the way back before videos. In fact, if I can find a link, I'll pop it up right there. We went and did some line marking for Gymshark. Now, Gymshark have got a couple of different spaces in Solihull. They've got GCIQ, GSIQ, they've got the HQ, a lot of things. Anyway, we line marked a brand new facility for them, and we're going to another facility which is pretty much next door, but we got invited back in the other week. We just had the contract signed, so I'm really looking forward to working with them. I met a really nice guy called Jim, and as I was there, I was sort of thinking about it, and certainly thinking about it afterwards. I was thinking, you know, isn't it nice that we've got a young guy that runs this huge company, is really successful, and he's a local guy to a degree. I mean, he's an hour up the road from me. It really makes you want to root for them and really support people like that. You just want the best for them.
I think it's because he's young and I'm young. He's running a business. I mean, he's a lot more successful, but he's running a business, and you sort of look up to people like that and go, wow, this guy, how cool. Like, how cool is that? I'm really, really glad, really proud to be working with a company like Gymshark. Another one for me is Huel. I really, really like Huel stuff. I get through so many of their shakes. I've never worked with Huel, never been invited to work with them. Maybe I should reach out to them. But it's another brand that, again, I really, really like. And you just want to support and help them, don't you? Today, we have some line marking going on in Birmingham, which I think will be pretty good. In fact, we've got 3 sites in Birmingham. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'm going to crack on my journey. Hey guys, so I get this question an awful lot, and the variables change, from feet to meters to, whatever people are looking for. But ultimately the question is, how much do you charge per linear foot or per linear meter? Now, this is a very difficult question to answer without some context. You see, when you're pricing a job, there are so many variables. Is it indoors, and do I have to shot blast it? And am I using a 2-part epoxy? Or am I using an acrylic? Or is it outdoors, and am I using an MMA or a thermoplastic? Or am I using an acrylic paint? All of these things play a different role in both durability, the surface type. Of course, there's also minimum spend. How much are they looking to get? Do you do a reduction in price when they buy over so many linear meters or linear feet? There's so many variables to it, so it's not a straightforward question to answer how much do you charge per linear foot or per linear meter. The way I would do it, now inside our training platform, what we've put together is you've got a sort of flow chart, if you like, of products. So you've got thermoplastic, acrylics, MMAs, you then got hand applicable MMAs, and then for indoors, you've got epoxies, you've got 2-part epoxies, you've got 2K, there's all sorts of different products. And then for each of those, you've got the surface, and then for each of those, you've got like a best use and a second best and a third best case, if you like. And then for each of those, I've put down what it costs me per linear foot, per linear meter. And then I've put down roughly what I would charge per linear foot, per linear meter, but taking into consideration all of the variables. And so to answer the question, how much do you charge per linear meter or per linear foot? I hate it to sound like a cop-out, but it depends. It really depends. Sometimes I charge £4 a linear meter. Other times I charge £20 a linear meter. Or feet, doesn't really matter. Take your pick on which system. The point is, that's how big the gap is, depending on how long do you need the lines to last? What time of day can I do this installation? Whereabouts in the world is this installation? If I'm doing something over in, from here, I'm in the middle of England. If I had to go and do a job up in Scotland or Ireland, it absolutely costs more money than it would do in my own town. And so my charges, they vary. But equally, again, it comes down to that product. If you need a thermoplastic, it's one price. If you need an MMA, it's a totally different price.
And so that doesn't really matter whereabouts you are in the world, you need to understand what product you're using so that you can work out a base price. Now, again, within the training platform, what we've also done is we've put together a sort of spreadsheet you can use that basically gives you access to what it costs per linear foot, per linear meter for each product. That's what we pay. You can put your own price in there as well, like what you pay. So the way we work it out is we do like a tin of paint is, let's say, £100, and it goes 100 meters at 10 centimeters wide, or 10 square meters if you like. And then we go, okay, great, it's £1 a linear, or whatever it is. So you can basically work that out yourselves, nice and easy. And all you do is you input that into the spreadsheet and it goes, bam, here's your prices for each of these products based on 1 linear meter or 1 linear foot. And you can say, great, I now know what it costs me. And then on the next tab, you can say, these are all the services I sell and this is what I charge. And then you've got a column that says, this is my charge to the customer, this is my cost. And then you've got another one that shows your profit on it. And then at the very end, on the last tab, you've got like an overview that just sort of gives you, an overview, as you can imagine. It's got like a pie chart that says, this is your cost on the project, this is your charge on the project, and this is your ROI for delivering this project. And that's a really handy tool when you're first starting out, is to work out like, how much am I making on each job? That's important to understand, as opposed to just the linear foot, linear meter, which is such a big variable depending on the product you use. So anyway, very short video. I hope that sort of clarifies what you should be charging. Is entirely up to you. I would recommend you get a copy of our price calculator so that you can work out what your costs are and you can pick the price you want to charge your customer. You can get a free copy of that if you head over to linemarking.expert. You can sign up for one of the masterclasses. You actually get it free on the masterclass, and that explains how to use the calculator properly. You also get a download that shows which product to use, where to use it, and then we've got like a rough cost per linear foot, per linear meter. And then of course you've also got longevity as well, like how long is it gonna last? Because again, it's such a big variable. If your customer only wants it for a year and they want to redo it every year, go with something cheap like an acrylic. But if they say, no, I want this done for the next 5 years, half a decade, and I don't want to see you again for the next half decade, great, pick an MMA or a thermoplastic or a 2-part epoxy. It's so variable, but that's the point. So, I hope that helps. If you head over to linemarking.expert, you'll be able to get a copy of the pricing calculator so that you can put your prices together. You can also see some of my prices on there as well. And you can also get a copy of the flowchart that just sort of explains which product to use, where to use it, what's best case, worst case, what you should expect in terms of longevity and durability. Anyway, that's it for this one. I will see you all in the next one.